Hey everyone, welcome to my little channel where we're just kind of step by step reading through the Bible. And Henny is in a new poof. It's new to him anyway. I've had it for a while. I hope you can hear me because I'm doing my laundry and it's kind of loud. Eventually, I'll get a microphone and figure this whole YouTube thing out. And I'm not a professional YouTuber, nor am I a professional Bible narrator, but this is helping me to read the Bible. Okay, now we're going to read Genesis 40, Genesis chapter 48. Oh wait, is that right? I think it's Genesis 48. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, if I'm repeating, oh well. Okay. And then we'll read Mark chapter 12. So this is awkward in my position. Okay, let's see. Sometime afterward, Joseph was told, "Your father is ill." So he took with him his two sons. Wait a minute, did I read this already? Oh yeah, I read that. Okay, sorry, we're on chapter 49. Whoops, scratch that. Take two. Okay, so Genesis chapter 49. I think that's right. Did I? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so I hope I'm right. Oh man. Okay. Genesis 49. And Jacob called his sons and said, "Come together, that I may tell you what is to befall you in days to come." Assemble and hearken, O sons of Jacob. Hearken to Israel, your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and first fruit of my vigor, exceeding in rank and exceeding in honor. Unstable as water, you shall excel no longer. For when you mourned your father... Oh, whoops. I misread that. Pardon me. Let's take that verse over again. Verse 4, unstable as water, you shall excel no longer. For when you mounted your father's bed, you brought disgrace. My couch he mounted. Simeon and Levi are a pair. Their weapons are tools of lawlessness. Let not my person be included in their council. Let not my being be counted in their assembly. For when angry, they slay men, and when pleased, they maim oxen. Cursed be their anger so fierce, and their wrath so relentless. I will divide them in Jacob, scatter them in Israel. You, O Judah, your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the nape of your foes. Your father's sons shall bow low to you. Judah is a lion's whelp. O pray, my son, have you grown? He crouches, lies down like a lion. Like the king of beasts who dare rouse him. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, so that tribute shall come to him, and the homage of peoples be his. He tethers his ass to a vine, his ass's foal to a choice vine. He washes his garment in wine, his robe in blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, his teeth are whiter than milk. Zebulun shall dwell by the seashore. He shall be a haven for ships, and his flank shall rest on Sidon. Issachar is a strong-boned ass, crouching among the sheepfolds. When he saw how good was security and how pleasant was the country, he bent his shoulder to the burden and became a toiling serf. Dan shall govern his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the road, a viper by the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider is thrown backward. I wait for your deliverance, O Lord. Gad shall be raided by raiders, but he shall raid at their heels. Asher's bread shall be rich, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose, which yields lovely fawns. Joseph is a wild ass by a spring, wild colts on a hillside. Archers bitterly assailed him. They shot at him and harried him, yet his bow stayed taut and his arms were made firm by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. There the shepherd, the rock of Israel, the God of your father who helps you, and Shaddai who blesses you with blessings of heaven above. Blessings of the deep that couches below, blessings of the breast and womb. The blessings of your father surpass the blessings of my ancestors. To the utmost bounds of the eternal hills, may they rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the elect of his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he consumes the foe, and in the evening he divides the spoil. All these were the tribes of Israel, 12 in number, and this is what their father said to them as he bade them farewell, addressing to each a parting word appropriate to him. Then he instructed them, saying to them, I am about to be gathered to my kin. Bury me with my fathers in the cave which is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, the cave which is in the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre in the land of Canaan, the field that Abraham bought from Ephron the Hittite for a burial site. There Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried. There Isaac and his wife Rebekah were buried. And there I buried Leah. The field and the cave in it, brought from the Hittites. When Jacob finished his instructions to his sons, he drew his feet into the bed, and breathing his last, he was gathered to his people. Okay, that's the end of chapter 49. That was interesting, the blessings, or whatever you maybe, I don't know if they were blessings or cursings or kind of a mixture that Jacob bestowed upon his sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. It's have to do kind of like a study on each of those utterances, because it's kind of poetic and deep, but I'm not sure, you'd have to exegete it to understand it fully. But it was prophetic. Okay, so now we're going to read Mark chapter, I think it's Mark, did I say Mark chapter 12? Okay. Yeah. Mark chapter 12. Here are some of the story illustrations Jesus gave to the people at that time. A man planted a vineyard and built a wall around it and dug a pit for pressing out the grape juice, and built a watchman's tower. Then he leased the farm to tenant farmers and went on a trip to a distant land. At grape picking time, he sent one of his men to collect his share of the crop, but the farmers beat up the man and sent him back empty-handed. The owner then sent another of his men, who received the same treatment, only worse, for his head was seriously injured. The next man he sent was killed, and later others were either beaten or killed, until there was only one left, his only son. He finally sent him, thinking they would surely give him their full respect. But when the farmers saw him coming, they said, "He will own the farm when his father dies. Come on, let's kill him, and then the farm will be ours." So they caught him and murdered him and threw his body out of the vineyard. What do you suppose the owner will do when he hears what happened? He will come and kill them all and lease the vineyard to others. Don't you remember reading this verse in the scriptures? The cornerstone, the most honored stone in the building, is a rock the builders threw away. This is the Lord's doing, and it is an amazing thing to see. The Jewish leaders wanted to arrest him then and there for using this illustration, for they knew he was pointing at them. They were the wicked farmers in his story, but they were afraid to touch him for fear of a mob, so they left him and went away. But they sent other religious and political leaders to talk with him and try to trap him into saying something he could be arrested for. "Teacher," these spies said, "we know you tell the truth no matter what. You aren't influenced by the opinions and desires of men, but sincerely teach the ways of God. Now tell us, is it right to pay taxes to Rome or not?" Jesus saw their trick and said, "Show me a coin and I'll tell you." When they handed it to him, he asked, "Whose picture and title is this on the coin?" They replied, "The emperor's." "All right," he said. "If it is his, give it to him. But everything that belongs to God must be given to God." And they scratched their heads in bafflement at his reply. Then the Sadducees stepped forward, a group of men who say there is no resurrection. Here was their question. "Teacher, Moses gave us a law that when a man dies without children, the man's brother should marry his widow and have children in his brother's name. Well, there were 7 brothers, and the oldest married and died and left no children. So the second brother married the widow, but soon he died too and left no children. Then the next brother married her and died without children, and so on until all were dead. And still there were no children, and last of all, the woman died too. What we want to know is this: in the resurrection, whose wife will she be? For she had been the wife of each of them." Jesus replied, "Your trouble is that you don't know the scriptures and don't know the power of God." "Don't leave, Oh, sorry, that's not the Bible, that's me. Henry, don't leave. Come on, get back in. We need to see you. We need to see you. Go back. You're not done sleeping." Okay, sorry. I just don't. You look adorable. Okay, sorry, I totally interrupted Jesus' words. Okay, so verse 23. What we want to know is this: in the resurrection, whose wife will she be? For she had been the wife of each of them. Jesus replied, "Your trouble is that you don't know the scriptures and don't know the power of God. For when these 7 brothers and the women rise from the dead, they won't be married. They will be like the angels." Uh-oh. Our subject matter has left. The Bible's our subject, but our visual subject matter. Can you, okay, hold on. I'm going to do something. Just a brief little intermission. Hold on. Walking away. I'm coming back. Okay, get back in there. Get back in. Get back. See if he goes for his toy. Get Bug. Yeah, okay, so let's go on. So Jesus replied, "Your trouble is that you don't know the scriptures and don't know the power of God. For when these 7 brothers and the woman rise from the dead, they won't be married. They will be like the angels. But now, as to whether there will be a resurrection, have you never read the book of Exodus about Moses and the burning bush? God said to Moses, 'I am the God of Abraham, and I am the God of Isaac, and I am the God of Jacob.' God was telling Moses that these men, though dead for hundreds of years, were still very much alive. For he would not have said, I am the God of those who don't exist. You have made a serious error. One of the teachers of religion who was standing there listening to the discussion realized that Jesus had answered well, so he asked, of all the commandments, which is the most important? Jesus replied, the one that says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is the one and only God, and you must love him with all your heart and soul and mind and strength. Okay. Where am I? Okay, turning the page. The second is, you must love others as much as you love yourself. No other commandments are greater than these. The teacher of religion replied, Sir, you have spoken a true word in saying that there is only one God and no other. And I know it is far more important to love him with all my heart and understanding and strength, and to love others as myself than to offer all kinds of sacrifices on the altar of the temple. Realizing this man's understanding, Jesus said to him, You are not far from the kingdom of God. And after that, no one dared ask him any more questions. Later, as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple area, he asked them this question: Why do your religious teachers claim that the Messiah must be a descendant of King David? For David himself said, and the Holy Spirit was speaking through him when he said it, God said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Since David called him his Lord, how can he be his son? This sort of reasoning delighted the crowd, and they listened to him with great interest. Here are some of the other things he taught them at this time. Beware of the teachers of religion, for they love to wear the robes of the rich and scholarly, and to have everyone bow to them as they walk through the markets. They love to sit in the best seats in the synagogues and at the places of honor at banquets, but they shamelessly cheat widows out of their homes, and then, to cover up the kind of men they really are, they pretend to be pious by praying long prayers in public. Because of this, their punishment will be the greater. Then he went over to the collection boxes in the temple and sat and watched as the crowds dropped in their money. Some who were rich put in large amounts. Then a poor widow came and dropped in 2 pennies. He called his disciples to him and remarked, That poor widow has given more than all those rich men put together, for they gave a little of their extra fat while she gave up her last penny. Okay, that's the end of Mark chapter 12. Let's see if Henny can play. This is Henny's toy. It's called Bug, and he loves Bug. Henny, do you love Bug? Do you love Bug? Do you love Bug? Yeah. All right, everybody. I don't have a whole lot of commentary today. Oops, sorry, that's my laundry. Okay, gotta go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, God bless. Bye. Henny, say bye. Say bye, Henny. Bye.